Hi everyone, welcome back to Tales of Strength. Today, I want to tell you about a man who played it safe his entire life. Small dreams, small actions, small life. At 35, he had a stable job, a small apartment, and a predictable routine. Then one day, his wife looked him in the eyes and said 5 words that destroyed him. "I can't do this anymore." She didn't leave him for another man. She left him because he thought too small. This story will break your heart, but it might save your life. His name was Michael. At 35, Michael worked the same job for 12 years. Same desk, same salary, same everything. His wife, Lisa, had begged him for years. "Michael, let's start that business. Let's travel. Let's do something big." Michael always said the same thing. "It's too risky. We need stability." One evening, Lisa came home from her friend's wedding. She looked different, tired, sad. She sat across from Michael and said, "I can't do this anymore." Michael looked up from his phone, confused. "Do what?" Lisa's eyes filled with tears. "Live small. I'm 33 years old, Michael, and I feel like I'm 70. We never travel. We never try anything new. We just exist." Michael felt defensive. "I'm providing for us. We have stability." Lisa shook her head, crying. "I don't want stability. I want life. I want adventure. I want to build something. But you're so afraid of thinking big that you've made our entire life small." Michael tried to speak, but Lisa raised her hand. "I love you, but I can't watch you waste your potential anymore. And I can't waste mine." She stood up. "I'm leaving, Michael. Not because you're a bad person, but because you think too small. And you're making me small too." Lisa walked out that night and never came back. Michael sat alone in his apartment, broken, empty. He didn't understand. He had done everything right. Stable job, steady income, safe life. But he lost the woman he loved because he thought too small. 3 days later, Michael went to see his older brother, David. David was 40. He owned 3 businesses. He had built something big. Michael broke down crying. "She left me. She said I think too small." David looked at his younger brother with sadness. "She's right." Michael felt anger rise. "What?" David said gently. "Michael, I've watched you play small your entire life. You had the same talent as me, the same opportunities. But you chose safe. I chose big. And look where we are now. I'm building. You're barely surviving." Michael whispered. "But what if I had failed?" David replied, "You failed anyway. You lost your wife. You lost your dreams. You lost yourself. At least if you had thought big and failed, you would have tried. But you didn't even try. You gave up before you started." Michael felt those words shatter him. That night, Michael couldn't sleep. He thought about his life. At 18, he wanted to start a business. But he thought, too risky. At 25, he wanted to move to a bigger city. But he thought, too scary. 30, he wanted to apply for a leadership role. But he thought, I'm not ready. Every single time, Michael chose small, safe, comfortable. And now, at 35, he had nothing. No wife, no dreams, no life. Just a small apartment and a small existence. The next morning, Michael made a decision. He quit his job. His coworkers were shocked. "What are you going to do?" Michael said, "Something big. For the first time in my life." Michael used his savings to start the business he had dreamed about for 15 years. The first month was terrifying. Michael wanted to quit every single day. But he remembered Lisa's words. "You think too small." Not anymore, he thought. Not anymore. 6 months later, Michael's business started growing. Small profits, but growth. 1 year later, Michael had built something real. Not huge, but meaningful. One day, Michael saw Lisa at a coffee shop. She was with someone, laughing, happy. Michael's heart broke, but he walked up to her anyway. "Lisa." She turned, surprised. "Michael." They sat down. Awkward silence. Michael said, "You were right. I thought too small. I wasted our life being afraid." Lisa's eyes softened. "I'm glad you finally see that." Michael continued, "I started the business. The one we talked about for years. Lisa smiled sadly. I'm proud of you, but it's too late for us. Michael nodded, tears in his eyes. I know, but I needed to tell you. Losing you taught me the most important lesson of my life. Thinking small doesn't protect you. It destroys you. I thought playing it safe would keep me secure, but it cost me everything. Lisa touched his hand gently. I hope you build something amazing, Michael. You always had it in you. You just needed to believe it. They said goodbye, and Michael walked away. He didn't get Lisa back. He couldn't undo the past, but he learned the lesson before it was too late to change. 3 years later, Michael's business was thriving. He had built something he was proud of. One day, a young man asked him, "What's your secret?" Michael smiled sadly. I learned to think big, but I learned it the hard way. I lost the woman I loved because I thought too small. Don't make my mistake. Don't wait until you lose everything to start thinking bigger. Think big now. Act big now, before it's too late. So listen carefully. If you're thinking small right now, stop. Stop playing it safe. Stop being afraid. Stop limiting yourself. Michael thought small, and he lost his wife, his dreams, his life. Don't let that be you. Think bigger. Dream bigger. Act bigger. Yes, you might fail, but you might also succeed. And even if you fail, at least you tried. But if you think small, you fail by default. Your life will be exactly as big as your thoughts. So think big, starting today, before you lose what matters most. Thank you for watching Tales of Strength. If the story shook you, share it. See you in the next one.